Hey everybody, I'm here this time to talk about 4.MBT.5 multiplication strategies. I'm going to be focusing on 1-digit times 2, 3, and 4-digit numbers. Okay, here we go. If you'd just please watch the video through once and then a second time pause it as needed to get your notebook caught up so that your notes look like mine. Here we go. First thing we always do is label our paper with what we're learning. The first multiplication strategy that I'm going to teach you is actually traditional algorithm. This is the way that your parents were taught, and they will be super helpful in helping you understand this if you have any questions. The way that you do it are you follow these steps. One, you always start on the bottom right-hand corner, which is the ones place of the number on the bottom. And then you're going to go straight up first to multiply. So you're going to go 2 times 2. You're going to write your answer below it. Then you're going to come back down to this bottom number in the ones place value, and you're going to go 2 over to the tens place, 2 times 1, and you're going to write your answer here. Okay, so you always start in the ones place of the bottom number. You always go straight up, and then you go straight over. And then actually down here you can see that you go, this is supposed to be a 5, sorry about all my arrows. So first I'm going to go up for this one, so 5 times 3, and I'm going to carry just like I would if I was adding. So 5 times 3, I put the 1 over the tens place, I put the 5 down here is 15, then 5 times 2 is 10 plus the 1 is 11, and 5 times 1 is 5 plus the 1 is 6. So you would just continue, you go straight up, then you go to the next number, then you go to the next number, and then you would even go to the next number after that. That's all you do. You always come back down to the ones place. Okay, so here's some practice that we're going to do. So if you would just, I would give these a practice and then maybe pause the video and see if your work matches mine. So to begin with, I'm going to go 4 times 4 straight up is 16. 4 times 6 is 24. Add the 1 is 25. Okay, so for this one, if you want to give it a try, 76 times 3, 3 times 6 is 18. Then I'm going to go 3 times 7 is 21 plus that 1, don't forget the 1, is 22. Over here, I'm going to do the same thing, only now you can see this is a number with the hundreds, and this is a number with the thousands. Oh, there goes the train. We're still going to do the same thing. We're going to go straight up. 3 times 4 is 12. Then I'm going to go the tens place. 3 times 6 is 18, plus the 1 is 19, and I'm just going to keep going. 3 times 2 is 6, plus the 1 is 7. Okay, again, the same steps are needed to do this. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 5 is 25 again, plus 2, 26, 27. Carry the 2, just like you would with adding. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 2 is 7. And 5 times 3 is 15. I'm just going to add that answer to the very front and put my comma in. Okay, so that is traditional multiplication, traditional algorithm, just like your parents know. We will continue to practice these in class, and you're going to get good at them. Just know that memorizing your multiplication facts is a huge, and if you don't know it now, you'd really be working hard to get those nailed down in your brain, because it's going to make this really challenging if you don't know them. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about, another strategy, is called area models for multiplication. So for area models, what you do is you break down a number to fit it into some of these boxes. Okay, so the first thing I do is I'm drawing an area model, which is basically, it looks to me a lot like a tape diagram. It's just a rectangle. I know how many boxes to put in my rectangle based on how many place values are in this top number. So because this is 2, I have 2 place values. I'm going to break 64 down by its place values, meaning I'm going to think about a different way, an expanded version of this number, just like when we did expanded form. So 64 in expanded form would be 60 plus 4. So I'm going to break that down and put the 60 here and the 4 there. Then I'm going to add the other number over to the side. Okay, just like that. Now what you do is you go 4 times 6 is 24. Add the 1 0. 4 times 4 is 16. Okay, now my area model's filled in, but what I need to do is stack these two numbers up and add them together. Okay, And there's my answer. I know my answer is correct because that's the same answer I got when we did this same problem with traditional algorithm. So the nice thing about knowing multiple strategies for multiplication is you can do it whichever way is your favorite to solve the problems, but then you can check it using another strategy. So there we have our answer, and it's really good to circle your answer because with all the writing it starts to get confusing. Okay, so for the next one, go ahead and see if you can set this problem up. Maybe pause the video and see if you can set your area model up. You're going to draw your boxes. I know I need 2 because I have 2 place values on the top number. I'm going to put this top number in expanded form, which is 70 and 6. So 70 plus 6 gets me back to 76. You put the 3 right here on the end, and then you start multiplying. 3 times 7 is 21. Add the 1 0. 3 times 6 is 18. Now I'm going to stack up the numbers in the middle of the box, which is 210 and 18. And I'm going to add those. 1 plus 2 and bring down the 2. So I got 228. Again, I could check my work using the traditional algorithm that we got before. So I know that I am correct because my work has been checked for both those actually. Okay, so now we're doing area models with 3 digits on top and even 4 digits. It's the same thing once again, only you just add another box. So we're going to include all the place values. So I have a hundreds place and I have a tens place and a ones place. I'm going to put 264 in expanded form, 200 plus 60 plus 4. Then I'm going to put the 3 on the end. 3 times 2 is 6, add the 2 zeros. 3 times 6 is 18, add the 1 0, and 3 times 4 is 12. The only thing that gets a little more complicated is you're now stacking up multiple digits here, so you just need to be really careful about lining stuff up neatly and adding things up carefully. Okay, using the lines on line paper is always really helpful. So I'm going to go ahead and add that up. So I got 792. Okay, see if you can take a guess on what this tape diagram will, or area model will be. You know it's going to have now 4 boxes because I have 4 place values. Okay, breaking this number down by place value into expanded form would be 3 thousands, 100, 50, and 5. And I'm going to put the 5 on the end. Very good. Now I'm going to do 5 times 3 is 15. I'm going to add those 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3. 5 times 1 is 5. I'm going to add those 2 zeros. 5 times 5 is 25. I'm going to add the 1 0. And 5 times 5 is 25. Okay, so here is where we start to have lots of numbers to add up. I've always recommended that you can chunk these so that you could take 2 out and add them together first. 1, 2, 3, like this. And then add up these 2. 5, 7, and then we will have to stack these 2 up. So I can use this space over here and 275 and add those. 5 plus 2 is 7. Bring down the 5, bring down the 1, and now I have my answer. Okay, and then I could always go back and check it with a traditional algorithm, which is 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 5, 25 again, plus 2, 26, 27. 5 times 1, 5, plus 2, 7, and 5 times 3, 15. Add that right to the front. And I have a match, so I know they're correct. Awesome. So these are area models. I really kind of enjoy area models. I feel like they make it easier for kids. They break it down. So if you're not as good with your multiplication facts, this might be an easier way for you to handle doing multiplication problems. Again, we will practice more of these in class. Okay. The last way I'm going to show you, last strategy, is called expanded form. It's very similar actually to the area models. First thing you're going to do is you're going to think of the problem like this. You're going to break the 64 again into expanded form. So it's going to be 60 plus 4. Right? So then what you're going to do is you're going to multiply the floor times each of these place values, meaning that you're going to do 4 times 60 plus 4 times 4, okay? So then you're going to do 4 times 6 is 24, add the 1 0. 4 times 4 is 16, okay? So I have my 2 answers. I've got to stack those up, and I'm going to add them together and 256. And again, we've been getting that same answer in all of the other ways that we've been doing multiplication, so I know that it is correct. Okay, so again, this is very simple. You're just breaking it down by expanded form. So 76 is going to become 3 times the 70 and 3 times the 6. So you can do it either way you want to write it out. It really doesn't matter, like this, and then you're going to break the 76 into 3 times 70 plus 3 times 6. Just don't get confused. The multiplication goes inside these little brackets. So 3 times 7 is 21, add the 1 0, and 3 times 6 is 18. And then I'm going to stack them up. And I'm going to get my answer, 228. And again, we got that same number on the page as before as well. Okay? Okay, see if you can give this a try. This is the same thing again. We're just breaking them down by place values and we're multiplying the single digit by each of the place values. It's the same steps for 264 and 3,155. So for example, it's going to be 200 times 3 plus 60 times 3 plus 4 times 3. Okay, and so it's going to go 3 times 2 is 6, add the 2 zeros. 3 times 6 is 18, add the 1 0, and 4 times 3 is 12. Then we're going to stack them up. 2, 9, 7, 792. Okay, again, see if you can figure this bottom one out where we have 4 digits down here. We're going to break them apart by the place value again. So I have 3,000 times 5 plus 100 times 5 plus 50 times 5 plus 5 times 5. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and do 3 times 5 is 15, add the 3 zeros. 5 times 1 is 5, add the 2 zeros. 5 times 5 is 25, add the 1 0, and 5 times 5 is 25. Okay, again, now I have 4 digits to add together, however is easier for you. These ones are pretty easy to add because it's 15,000 plus 500, so I know that's really 15,500. And this one is 250 plus 25. I could stack those up, but I do know it's 275. You know how I know? I think about money. So if I had $2.50 and I added another quarter, I would have $2.75. See, that's the trick I use in my brain. Then you're going to add these two up. It's getting kind of messy, so I might just grab this paper, stack these up here to add them. And there we go. I got 15,775. Okay, so this form is called expanded form. So you have just learned 3 different strategies for multiplying bigger numbers. We will be practice a lot of these in class, so please don't stress out. Make sure if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. And again, feel free to watch this video as many times as you need. Go back, rewind, do whatever you need to do. And of course, keep practicing those multiplication problems so that you can do this more quickly. Okay, thank you. See you at class.